It's Tamara from ShelfAddiction.com, and I'm here today to do a review of the movie Beautiful Creatures. I wanted to do a review for a few different reasons. One, I read the book last month. Two, I was bombarded with the movie previews, so I felt I had to see it. And three, because after seeing the movie, I felt I needed to share my opinion with the world because I felt that movie sucked so bad. I mean, it was basically one of the most horrible book-to-movie adaptations I've ever seen. So I'll give it 2 ratings. The first rating will be based on my consideration of having read the book, and my second rating will be what I think I would rate it had I not read the book. So let's start with the differences between the book and the movie. So, spoiler alert, if you have not read the book and you plan on it and you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to stop now. But here we go. Number 1, I thought that the movie was severely lacking because some of the characters that were missing and how they melded one of the characters in particular. Let's start with who they melded. In the book, there are 2 separate characters for the woman who took care of Ethan and the woman who ran the library. In the movie, they melded those 2 characters into one. I felt that was not cool. I mean, it could have been done good, but they didn't do it in a good way. I mean, it felt like it was things missing because of the meld. It's not like they were able to incorporate everything. 2, Boo, the dog, Boo Radley's, what they called the dog, Lena's uncle's dog, Macon's dog. I thought that would have been awesome in the movie. I mean, especially with graphics, digital graphics, and all the CG stuff they could have done. They really could have had a very cool looking paranormal-ish type dog or wolf-like dog, but they chose to totally skip over the animal altogether. I was disappointed that the dog wasn't in there. And I mean, Ethan's friends were gone. I mean, the guy friend he hung out with all the time, I mean, he was in there like for 2 seconds in 2 scenes. And you couldn't even really tell how good friends they were. I mean, in the book, that he had a lot of interaction with that other kid. In this movie, none. Actually, in this movie, it seemed like the only people that existed were Lena and Ethan. I mean, all of the sub-characters were virtually non-existent, which I did not like. Beyond the characters, well, moving on to the next character, Lena's family, I don't know, I wasn't feeling the family. It was a little odd. And Ethan, we didn't even get to see like the ghost version of his mom, or we didn't even get to see his dad, you know, tracking back and forth, eating his cereal or anything. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like it was just really light on the characters. But I did like the actress they picked for Lena. She's a very good fit. I could totally see her as Lena in the book. Ethan, not so much. I mean, he's just a little too dorky and dorky, cheeseball, you know, kind of young, I guess. I don't know. I just visualized Ethan very different than what we got in the movie. Now on to some other things that I thought were lacking. I felt that, you know, Ian and Lena's connection, you know, how they're able to speak to each other in the book, that was completely missing from the movie. How they're able to speak without speaking, they can hear each other in each other's minds, that was completely void in the movie. Also, what was completely void was like how their dreams like correlated to the rest of the story. You know, they dreamt about each other for months before they knew each other, and then when they knew each other, they slowly figured out that they were dreaming about each other, and then we were able to see the importance of those dreams and the importance of the locket that Ian found. I mean, that was Ethan, I'm sorry, that was another total miss. I mean, he found a little locket at the very beginning of the movie. That's not how it happened in the book. And he gives Lena the locket, and then, you know, they touch hands, and then they see what happened back in the 1800s. That's not how that happened at all in the book, and that really like perturbed me. I'm like, wow, they really shortcutted that. They didn't really show that. I don't know. It was just so much detail missing. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know that in a movie you're going to alter things. Things are going to be cut. Things are going to be added for more movie glamour or whatever. But I feel like they picked the wrong things. They focused on the wrong things. So with that said, my disappointment in who they picked for Ethan, major characters, you know, what I felt were important characters to the story, missing or melded. Other, you know, just minute things that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. I give that movie Adaptation a score of like 2.5 stars out of 5. And that's being generous. I mean, it was a long movie, but I felt that there were still very many important things missing. Now, if I just forget that I read the book completely, try to block out all of the missteps that I found, I think I'll probably give it a 3.5 stars. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie overall. It wasn't a bad movie. Like, my husband was with me, and he thought it was a decent movie. And, you know, he, of course, hadn't read that book. So maybe if you go in blind and not knowing what you're missing or not knowing what could have been, then you would like the movie more. So, again, as a book reader, the Adaptation, 2.5. As a plain old moviegoer who hasn't read the book, I would give it a 3.5. So there you have it. Beautiful Creatures, Book 1, Movie 1. Let's just say I'm not very excited to see what the next few movies will look like if they do more movies. They didn't start it off well, so I'm not very hopeful. So anyway, sorry to put a damper if you were happy about that movie or excited about that movie or even liked it. If you had a completely different opinion than me, that's cool. Let me know what you thought. I mean, maybe you can tell me why you liked it or maybe why you didn't like it. Maybe tell me if you agree with me. I don't know. Anyway, share what you think, and until next time, happy reading, and that's it, y'all. Bye.